Uncle Bill here from DeadPIT Radio, and today we're going to be reviewing a Second Sight Films release of one of my top 20 films of the last decade. This is a shocker when I saw it back in the early part of 2024 on Shudder. This is Second Sight Films' release of When Evil Lurks. So, what a film this is! This is the new 4K Blu-ray combo box set from Second Sight of this movie. I really can't say enough good things about this film or this director. What a crazy, maniacal, just whirlwind of a film this is. And I didn't expect anything out of it, to be honest, because a lot of horror films come and go, especially horror films on streaming services, but this one is just one of the exceptions to the rule. So, give you a little background about the story. It is a classic kind of good versus evil story, except this time evil really does exist in this small Argentinian town, and it's left in the form of what they call rotters, which are giant, in this case, a giant possessed man who lives in, an impoverished neighborhood, and he has been possessed with evil, but no one knows about it for at least a year. He's just left alone in this house. And finally, a couple of guys find out about it by accident, stumble upon this guy, and they're like, "Oh my God, like we got to do something about this." And of course, it's one of those movies where everything they do makes everything worse in the film. So they try to move the evil that's within inside, but that just makes things worse. There's several different like rules in this movie. Another part of the movie that I really love is that it has rules. There's 7 rules in the movie, and one of them is that you can't use firearms against them. You can't use electrical lights against the evil. You're not supposed to come in contact with anything that has to do with it, otherwise you could get infected. All of these different things. And number one rule is that you can't be afraid, which is almost impossible due to like how crazy this is. So one thing after another starts to happen to these poor guys that find this demon basically. And I mean, some of the scenes in this movie are some of the strongest scenes that I've come across in a long, long time. And when I first saw it, I was like, I can't believe that they actually did that. And that's the great part about this movie. It's a horror film that's not afraid to like go the extra mile. It's not afraid to take things like to their logical conclusion, because if evil really did exist, it wouldn't give a shit about who it possessed, what it did to them. It would just want to go from like person to person and wreak as much havoc as humanly possible. And that's basically what this movie is. So once he finds out, okay, he's accompanied by another guy that's kind of like a landowner that wants to that wants to evict this family that's housing this demon. And that guy meets like an awful end after he doesn't follow one of the rules. And then the 2 guys, they are like, okay, now we know something's going on because this guy's gone out in a horrible way. And probably one of the most memorable scenes in the movie, his pregnant wife like takes a hatchet to her own face over and over and over again. And that effect is done so well, like I can't even describe how terrifying that is. And then you move to probably everyone's nightmare scene, which he's trying to get his ex-wife and their kids and the ex-wife's kids out of this house before the evil gets there. But unfortunately, it's already there. And there's a scene that if you've never seen this movie, I don't want to spoil it for you, but there's several scenes in a row that happen right within like a 10-minute span of time where I'm like, this is some of the craziest, most off the wall stuff that I've seen in years. And it makes this movie incredibly memorable. Like I'll never forget like a couple of the scenes in this movie because you just do not see stuff like this. So finally runs into a couple of people that think that they can help One of them is a grandmother of one of the guys, and the other one is like she's an older woman who is like known about possessions and things from the past, and she knows what to do. But the question is, can she do it? And that's where the rest of the movie goes. So, yeah, When Evil Lurks is really a simple setup. Evil is loose in a town, but it just does away with so many of the normal cliches that the possession franchises usually have, and just says, you know what, we're not dealing with religion in this. Like religion, there's quotes in it where it's like religion's been dead for a long time. The church is dead. We killed it, and because of that, we're like having to suffer. Is kind of what a couple of the characters say in the film. And so it does away with all that. Like none of that will help you. So that the only thing you can do is try to follow the rules. And if you break them, and it's really easy to break them because these things are, when they possess somebody, it still looks like the person and acts kind of like a real person, but just becomes increasingly evil, more evil, like by the minute. Um, I, the atmosphere of this movie is incredibly tense. Like everyone's panicking all the time, and it just makes for like the most unnerving film experience in a good way that I can imagine. And also, some of the actors in this do an amazing job. Like the lead actor Ezekiel Rodriguez, yeah, he's great in the film. Um, as are like the landowner Ruiz, the brother, several of the people. It's just one of those movies where after you see it, it will keep you up, and you'll be thinking about it like several days later. You'll be like, I've witnessed something. I've been through something. It's not just a movie that kind of just goes away after you watch it. Like you really feel like this is really more realistic than most movies would be about like the true nature of evil and like what kind of things would happen. Um, and the director, Damien Runia, I got to give him all the credit in the world for like being able to make a movie like this. He made another movie which was really great too, called Terrified, and not Terrifier. That's a whole other movie. Terrified. They're both named Damien though. Now that I think about it, but like that movie had another like killer kid scene in it that was just absolutely haunting, as does this one. But this is a movie that needs to be watched. This is the third or fourth time I've seen this movie now. I just watched it before this, and I like it more every time I see it. I put it in my top 20 list of horror films from the past decade. It may be in my top 10 list. It's just that good. There's nobody really known in it, not at least in the United States. So that makes it even more believable. That kind of like helps you suspend disbelief. Like there's no Brad Pitts or anything in this movie to kind of throw you off. And the way that it's filmed is just, you see everything that happens, and some stuff you don't want to see, but like you will get to see it. And the idea of having like, I always like the idea of a movie where it has like you're in um an environment that has rules, and all these people know the rules, but their emotions kind of take over and they can't help but like break them, which leads to more and more trouble. So yeah, um I wanted to like kind of showcase the actual set because it's an amazing set, and kind of talk about what special features are on this set from Second Sight Films. This was just released. It's already out by the time I do this, so you can pick it up. Uh, so you take a look at this. It's a rigid box. It doesn't get much more rigid than this, really. Rigid slipcase, 120-page book with new essays, behind the scenes gallery and storyboard comparisons, and 6 collector's art cards. So let's showcase that. So it comes with your typical J card here. You can take off. Like that. You got the art cards, which I have not messed with, but which I can imagine would be amazing. I always have a hard time slipping these things off. So yeah, anyway, you just have to trust me when I say that the art cards in this are amazing. The 120-page book that comes with it, which is mostly essays. Like there's several different essays. As I said before, give you an idea. storyboards, comparisons, liner notes, if you will. And then the actual film presentation itself comes in one of those cool kind of dual format cases with the 4K and the Blu-ray. Man, like I watched some of these special features today actually too. So there's a new audio commentary by Gabriel Rodriguez. There is a new interview with the director called It Was Always There. I watched that. It's a really good in-depth interview talking about like his inspiration for the film. When I watched that, like it occurred to me like how much I like that guy too. Because he was wearing like a Hellraiser shirt while he was doing it, like an original Hellraiser shirt. And you can tell like he's a huge genre fan especially from the 80s, and that's my kind of thing. It Was Always There is the name of that. Tragedy is Inevitable, a new interview with the actor Ezekiel Rodriguez, he's the lead in the film. We Made a Movie, a new interview with actor Damien Solomon. Stripped to the Bone, a new interview with the actor Virginia Garofalo. And Terror and the Unknown in When Evil Lurks, which is a video essay by Mike Munzer. So yeah, those are the special features, and they're really good. The film itself, let's talk about that for a minute. Like, I remember the film itself looking really good when it premiered on Shudder, but the 4K of this is absolutely outstanding. The colors are as rich as they possibly can be. The depth is there. The contrast is perfect. The way that it's shot, it's a low budget film. I mean, especially for today's standards, the movie was made on a budget of $2 million US. And you got to think today, that's absolutely nothing to make a film. And I don't understand how it looks as good as it does. And I really don't understand how the effects hold up as well as they do either. But they do. And you'll notice that too. And you'll really notice the effects. And the weird thing is in 4K, they're completely seamless. Like you can usually notice like some sort of, issues with the effects work in a 4K kind of format, but you cannot with this because they're just done that well. There's especially some like use of like, I think digital mixed with practical that's just horrifying. And I think a lot of people that are fans of the gore era of this genre will really appreciate that too. So yeah, I mean, When Evil Lurks, I can't give it any higher of a recommendation. You should go out and buy it now. If you don't own this, buy it. If you own the other version of it that was released, I'd say there was like a bare bones edition released by like AFC. Buy the second sight version. It's amazing in quality and in like the special features and the additional extras that you get with the film itself, including the packaging. It's out. The release date was July 28th. You can buy it now, and you should buy it now while it's still available because these things always end up selling out. So Second Sight Films, as always, putting out quality and the type of films that genre collectors absolutely love to have. I am Uncle Bill, and When Evil Lurks behind you. So pick this up today.
I want all these people to click everything they're supposed to click.
You haven't been liking them, you haven't been subscribing to them, you haven't clicked the bell or notification or anything like that.
Folks, why don't you click the like button?
Do you hate us? Do you not want to see us succeed?
Why don't you click the heart button?
Is this something that you have against our particular show?
Why don't you subscribe?
You should click on one of them buttons right now if you want us to continue to breathe greatness into your life.
There's all kinds of wonderful shirts over at shop.deadpit.com. Simply the best horror shirts. On TeePublic, there are others, but they all suck. You can get some Dead Pit Radio shirts. You can get Last South on the Left. The Hills Have Eyes. Texas Chainsaw. Oh, wait, you can't say Texas Chainsaw. All kinds of shirts, folks. You're gonna love them. Shop.deadpit.com.
Special thanks goes out to our supporters on Patreon. You know what kind of stuff you can get on Patreon, Uncle Bill, starting at only $1 a month?
What's that?
Access to every Dead Pit show since 2005. We got almost 200 fan commentaries that we've done over the decades.
Here's what other fucking Patreons do. They're like, hey, give us money and then we'll let you see a video early that we're going to release like a fucking week from now, and then that's all we're going to give you. Meanwhile, we have a literal jukebox full of songs, thousands of reviews. I don't even know how many shows are up on there now that we've done over the years.
Hundreds of thousands.
You need to figure this out now and subscribe to us on Patreon and YouTube and Instagram and help us to 1 million. The road to 1 million subscribers starts today.
So DEADPIT on Patreon.com. Join today. Tiers start at only $1, but I'd recommend at least the $10 tier.
You can do 50. The stock market's crashing around us, folks, but send us money.